and they had a fairly okay showing, but we only saw them a few times during that broadcast, and they were never able to really replicate and come back in the other weeks. Where Hot Sauce, at least during that time, was one of the most fantastic players that they did have, and even being on a non-duelist agent, he showed to us that he can create those highlights, and he has done that time and time again during this weekend. Whether again it's SV Empire or just Hot Sauce, he has been a really good addition to this particular roster.
Indeed, and Hot Sauce coming up with so many great plays yesterday. It has to be said, just been looking unstoppable. Now, the other players here, Trix has been looking pretty good as well, but what I think here, Trix has been kind of hit and miss. A lot of great rounds, a lot of kind of rounds. But the person who has been consistent, I'd say for the most part, has been Nexi. Every single time, he's really been on form. And so many rounds were just won single-handedly by this man.
Yeah, again, Nexi is one of those people that can just do anything and everything. And I think a lot of the SV Empire fans were made fans because of how Nexi did play with his Sentinel back in Stage 2 and Stage 1. Now just going to be playing on this Omen for the moment. On the other end, we do have, of course, Zeal Esports that will be going for the double duelist once again. Fire Saiyajin really has been on the Reyna, I think, for the most part in this entire game. I think entire weekend. I think the only time that we might have seen him play like a Sky was on Breeze, but I think even then he's just much more comfortable with the duelist. Still haven't seen the most explosive of games just yet, but again, we do still are pretty young into our stage 3 here. There's still 2 weeks to go and 3 slots open for these teams.
I like the fact that Envy's back on the Jet. We've really only kind of seen him do it once in one game, but this is really one of the maps that he can play, the Jet on. And he was very, very lethal on it a number of times with that operator as well. And it just goes to show that Envy really, truly the flex master of, I'd say, VCT Philippines, just able to play anything. Because yesterday, for the most part, he was sitting on the Sova. A couple of rounds, he'd be, a couple of games, he'd be picking other things like the Sky and whatever. But really, it was mostly a Sova. I'm happy to see that they're changing things today. Draxi very much capable of using that, so I'm wondering what they'll do here. And speaking of Envy, starts the round off strong with a pick towards short here, but traded off right there. Fire Saiyajin getting the kill towards A. He's going to get a second one, though. Nope, that's going to be Nico, excuse me, as it's going to be towards mid that they dash and get away. They know that they have to recuperate those losses, and somehow they do. Envy finding his second frag of this one, as the Spike still has to rotate all the way towards that A site in this 3v3.
They are just going to try to, they are going to try to just get it straight into the site itself. Nico's going to be holding the flank. He's about to find out that there's like 2 people immediately on him, and he can't really get away. Envy is already at the scan, picks out, spots out Nico. Nico got to back away now as the other Sova is working his way through short. There's nobody going to come through heaven, and look at where the focus of the rest of Zeal are. Perfectly done for Fire Saiyajin just to challenge that, but Envy finds him, marks regard, okay. Recon dart stop, that's going to be only 2 versus 1. Hot Sauce does have all the HP in the world, and he's trying to bait out the shots here, trying to figure out where his opponents will be, and has sneaked this well all the way up into Switch. This could actually work because he's segregated 2 of them, down to like 20 HP. He's hunting him down, hounding him down, but the tap on the spike just a bit too zealous there from Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a misplay, maybe a little bit of panic, getting too close. I think he sees him close onto Jenny, and then still somehow goes and continues with, with the alarm bot. Regardless, though, it still works out in the favor of Zeal, and it's gonna be the first round on the board for them. This is a decent start, I'd say, for Zeal, because they've been really good on maps like Ascent, and they're so comfortable to play on it here. I don't think that SV Empire is as comfortable on it, so I really feel like this is going to be the first map for Zeal here, and they'll probably turn it around in the second one. But of course, we'll see. That's just all up to predictions here. As quickly as he goes and pushes, so does he go down. Trix getting absolutely decimated and taken down by that Sheriff. Nice shot to start off the round here.
Yeah, you can really see how comfortable SV Empire are with just the minute pickings that they are looking at these particular angles has allowed them to find really good frags that kind of slow down the tempo of their opponents. And again, talking about it, Zeal is all about that tempo. They're sort of like the Smeagers of the Philippine scene. If they can't really rush into the site, a la guns blazing, they do show the cracks. Anyways, Flash picks himself up into the Spectre. Really wants to go about this, but they're playing a bit too near, and Nexi just obliterates the one. Trix is going to be holding an angle here, and he is just hitting shots day after day, time after time with the Sheriff. Even sinks a bit of his teeth through the bullets of that turret, but still, it's only going to be Flash to remain. He's playing around the corner, but it's a 5 versus 1. Even if he does have the better weapon technically, there's just too many people, personnel of SV Empire for this loner to try to deal with.
Look at this. They're all watching that entrance right there. Okay, Flash manages to get one, and now they know he's still there. But with 9 seconds on the clock, it's going to be a miracle if he even gets close. Not even as Hot Sauce closes the round. But those sequence of shots, that crossfire outside towards A main, landing everything to perfection, showing why SV Empire, man, when it comes to aim, these guys have it in spades. And they just do not drop the ball on that one. And honestly, a big pickup, a confidence booster, and a way to get back into the map.
That was... They just peaked one by one. Well, that's going to really hamper things for Zeal, who wanted to get a bit more rounds, especially that they did win that pistol. Singer Carl already going to get spotted out here. He should be careful because there could be a LMG at the side. And he's already spotted him, lines up the shot, gets a peek onto the turret, and even once more as he wraps all the way around. Next, he's going to sandwich in from, well, short, and he gets himself a short sandwich. I like this. Spray it down. Flash and Nico to remain, and Hot Sauce, he's not done just yet. A little spicy. It's all down to Nico. Does have the spike, but his legs have been spotted. Counterpart for counterpart. Draxi does get dropped. And Hot Sauce into the corner, but Nico's scanning, but not scanning well enough. Down to 12 HP though, but beautiful shots to connect with the Sheriff.
This is made very, very expensive. He picks up a Spectre as well. Sure, he doesn't have HP, but if he can get the spike down somehow, he's just going to be in a fantastic position. No chance, not that time. As Trix closes out the round, managed to sniff out where Nico was lurking, but still, you gotta admit that round was way more expensive than they wanted it to be. And Zeal, they make it interesting for a while. You think that this could have, for a second you believe. When Nico hit that second shot, is like, oh, here we go. He wins these. But unfortunately, just didn't happen. A little bit of a tech pause. So we will be slowing down the pace. Asterai, how are you feeling about today? You get your lunch today, man?
Yeah, I ordered a bit of pizza, you know, through Food Panda service. Always pretty good. I was enjoying myself on that one, and I think I'm feeling pretty full coming into this cast. And I'm happy. You know, the world is revolving happily around what I want to do for the moment.
Yeah, you got your pizza. You're playing Valorant. You're on Valorant. You know,
exactly.
It's a pretty solid setup, if you ask me. I hope you guys in chat have had your lunches as well as you're joining us today. It's going to be a pretty long day. Of course, man. We love our chat family. We love our Twitch viewers. And you got to show them some love.
Oh yeah, we love our families. Exactly.
Oh my God, can we not start with the family memes? It's
you just
too early.
You started it.
I did no such thing.
Yeah, sure you did. Twitch family.
Twitch fam.
If I would ask, and all of the casters that we've had here in VCT for our, while we're still waiting for the technical pause, who do you think is Dominic Toretto? It's okay if it's not me because it's fine.
Who's Dominic Toretto? Dom. Oh, you mean Vin Diesel?
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
Oh, Dom is... that's a tough one. I'll give it to Vil.
Oh,
just because
he
he kind of looks the part.
If you guys don't know who Vil is, because you're coming in from the English broadcast, you can check him out at the Tagalog broadcast.
Yeah,
on Facebook, guys. And he does look the part, yeah.
Yeah, and he does look like he'd be racing around with with people and whatever.
That's true. That's true. And for some reason, he never fails to show off his biceps in front of me for some reason. Oh, speaking of showing off, Envy, little quick flick with the operator, just casually strolling himself onto B main, finds another. Oh, he's looking for it. He's not done just yet, and he finds more with this recon dart, but immediately backs away as he was getting pre-fire. But Hot Sauce, out of nowhere, comes in through the smoke, and even through the setup on this lockdown, Elu, the kills abound plentiful for the SV roster.
Yeah, big pickups to find there, and they're going to have a tough ask of them coming into this retake. It's a 3v5, and Envy's just not missing his shots here. Trix is right there to follow up, kill with a Spectre, and from up and above, clever idea with a shorty, but it's going to be Draxi to pick it up. Zeal, they're looking stumped for the meantime. SV Empire get a 3-1, and it's a Panda Pro flawless, man. Just like the pizza that you got from Panda Pro earlier.
Yeah,
I could use
flawless.
some pizza. Flawless.
All is looking good for SV Empire at the moment. Zeal weren't able to try to get anything. I think that was also a buy round for them, and all stopped by Envy just peeking with an operator. Really can say that probably SV Empire's best map has to be Ascent. The way that they move around here, especially on their defending side, just smooth, confident, and collected as always. Fire Sage now going to be just playing around for Zeal outside of A main. There is a bit of a gap on this smoke, and he can actually peek into a kill possible, but he does have opponents waiting around the corner, and Trix not going to miss an opportunity to, well, get another kill into his pocket, into his inventory, and this is going to leave us into the 4 versus 5, where Fire Sage is out of it once again, but at least they do or can pick up his Fallen Spectre.
Yeah, a quick pickup on that gun is going to definitely help their chances make things a little bit more expensive here. And again, when it comes to rounds like this, the best thing that you can hope for, maybe steal away the round, obviously, is the best case scenario. But for the most part, they'll be wanting to get the spike down, make it expensive with a couple of kills, but it doesn't look like it's going anybody's way thus far. The patience and the discipline from SV Empire right now really, quite honestly, shining through. They do have a little bit of an aggressive crossfire towards mid, but as to whether they can hold on to it is going to be the question here, as the rest of Zeal are just going to be shut down towards B main. Nico does manage to get one, and Senior Carl is right there for the backup following that kill. Gets 2 onto site here. If they can get this plant, and it looks like they will, it's a massive win on this eco already. So they do get it. They actually do manage to recover a Spectre onto Senior Carl, and the retake now commences here. Flash out of position. Has to use the Wind Orb, and it's not going to be anything really on the back of it. But still, I still think it's going to be a great success on that round. 2 kills and a spike plant. That's really pretty much all you could have asked for.
He had to deal with a paranoia, followed immediately after with a leer. You can feel the pressure that Senior Carl was literally in, as he just had to figure out where his opponents were. He had limited visibility, and it's a 3 versus 1. Nothing that he could really do there. But like you said, Elu, at least they do have a good economic damage. I don't think in the end it's really going to matter, because SV Empire, as they win these rounds, as they save up with more than 3 people with weapons going into the next round, they're pretty stacked in terms of the money. So now Zeal, at least with that particular round in mind, they're going to have another buy here. Problem is, Fire Saiyajin hasn't really had enough luck. I think he's tried to fight for A main for the past couple of rounds now and has been dropped either by Trix or an immediate refrag, but more so just Trix matching up to the Reyna versus, and it's really helped out SV Empire even out these rounds. Or not actually even out, just to dominate these rounds.
Indeed. These rounds are not even getting very close, and you can see SV Empire, their economy, starting to swell. And Trix, man, just getting Senior Carl, who was dashing into his face here. Hot Sauce pushing through the smoke, able to get another one. And Zeal, they just look like they're very much like chickens running around headless at the moment, because SV Empire have sniffed them out. They're like bloodhounds at the moment. And look at how confident Trix is, pushing through the smoke and winning the duel. Absolutely no business doing that. Dismiss, where is he looking? Debates him, and oh my god, Trix! Disgusting! Man, he just toyed with Nico in that one. Look here. No, I'm over here. Look at this flash. No, now I'm back to you. And then, bam, headshot. Just not fair. Absolutely not fair. Look at this. Let's take a better look at it. Just trying to dismiss. He thinks he's going to dismiss away into cover. Nope, I'm here. I'm peeking you in the face. My God, the disrespect on that play is surreal.
Not only the disrespect, the mechanics on it. You know how Omens just throw out the paranoia and then they shrouded step on a different location so that you'll be looking where initially they come from and then you're going to get bamboozled? That was essentially what Trix did, but with Arena. Much more difficult and much more disgusting. Style points all throughout. And this is where SV Empire start to really feel the movements. But as I say again, Zeal really forcing that A main control and not really getting anything else after that. Again, it's always just been the stomping grounds of Trix, and they haven't really respected that. Granted, sometimes you don't have to, and you just have to try to push for it. But when Trix has defended it like 4 times in a row and has won 4 times in a row as well, they gotta have to try to do something a bit different.
Yeah, honestly, Trix just feeling it right now. He's hitting his shots. He's being unstoppable. And what can they really do up against this? Envy's holding the back. Just the teamwork of SV Empire. They really are truly exhibiting something special here at the moment. And it's Zeal who look like they are completely out of whack. I mean, this is a far cry from how we used to see them play, not just locally, but in Masters or in Challengers, rather, for SEA. And they do not look like they have any clues as to how to approach this defense. Personally, I do think that the slow default style is really kind of biting them in the back. I do think I'd like to see a little bit more of a change of pace, maybe a contact play, secure a little bit more of mid, maybe, and maybe just hit the sights a little bit faster, because thus far they're trying to play this default style and they're getting picked apart by the op of Envy. Because Envy's shown that he's happy to go for those aggressive duels and retreat.
Yeah, we haven't seen I'm not actually a paranoia play, but I guess a big Lear play for them. The flash is really not just working in their regard. Envy's been spotted out as there was a bit of a wiggle jumping peek out there from Tuge. Still, that's not really going to stop much. The smoke holding him at bay. Envy does pop out the quick little blades here. Trix in the corner, backs off. Beautiful stuff as Hot Sauce keeps him alive. His teammate is reloading for him, but Trix holds his own. And now Nico, once again, left into a 4 versus 1. He's going to have a Sheriff, but just too many distance, too many angles, not enough time in the world. Spots out the first shot, beautifully executed. Nico! And maybe, just maybe, but it's not going to happen in the end because Hot Sauce goes in for the big little swing and shuts him up. 1-6, SV Empire, big lead.
Great attempt by Nico right there, but just too many bodies in the end. And I do have to say, that round, all Hot Sauce. The way that he backed up his team, covering Trix on the retreat, making sure to get those trade kills and stopping anybody from getting into that A site. Hot Sauce, what a player. I mean, we didn't really see much of him in the previous iterations of VCT. This is truly the first time. Funny, man. What is funny?
Chad has replied to our sentiments. Zeal is more like Tyrese.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right, I'm going to hold off for a moment here because you talked about how there should be a bit more of an aggressive movement around the map. Well, it seems like SV Empire are the ones to make that happen. So much control into that mid side, started by Trix, ignited by him, and the rest of SV Empire follows up. It's all about the shooting galleries here, Elu. But Zeal, after the dust has settled, is only left with Tuge down to 18 and Nico to support him. Nico can make this happen, but the problem is there's just going to be a lot of firepower that is going to be coming their way down to Hot Sauce, but he's going to get a bushful of bullets, and that is going to propel another round for SV Empire, 7-1.
And yeah, what a round here. What a game for these guys. But 7-1, what a run. They do look quite unstoppable as... Look at Hot Sauce. We'll take a quick look at the kills. 13 kills on the Sentinel. Not really something you see every day, but quite refreshing, if you ask me. They do have also, on top of that, 3 fairly big ultimates. Just, you know, the Lockdown, the Hunter's Fury, and from the Shadows. See how they deploy them here. It's a really big deal to actually win this round. They have already secured at least a 7-5. And 8-4 will be massive. And it's looking like it's shaping up to be even more than that. Because Zeal only has one, ladies and gentlemen. One round have they won. And that was the pistol.
Draxy's gonna find so much from this. This cloud burst. Oh, he is a... Wow, Senior Carl. Very smart play. I thought he was just gonna use the cloud burst as a form of cover, but he went the extra step. He actually just charged right out, and Senior Carl, intelligent plays from the man himself, found 2 kills already, and with the help of that Cosmic Divide, he single-handedly allowed his team to get the B site. One is going to be lurking in mid, but Nexi immediately dismisses the fact that Fire Sagen was providing some pressure on Market. It's still not the end of the world just yet. 3 versus 4, and everything falling into the hands of Zeal. Like you said, they would love to have themselves maybe a 5-7, maybe a 4-8, and this play is the start among that.
Yeah, and towards the B site they go here, looking like the best chance that they have had so far. As Sugi Monster and Nico each get a kill to close out the round, 7-2. We could still come back in a 7-5, and this would still be a decent score. So really, 3 rounds is all that they need to, I'd say, make this a respectable halftime score. Actually, you know what? Even 2 rounds would be still possible here. But I do appreciate this effort from Senior Carl. Definitely not mucking around anymore. Did get the opening pick, sensing weakness towards that B side and just hammering it home.
That was so smart from Senior Carl. He exactly knew that a quick little dash and he would just fall under fire. Envy trying to do something similar in that regard with a paranoia play, but Fire Sagen a bit too quick on the exit. But as they do go for an aggressive stance, look at where Trix has positioned himself, right onto Wine. This could be good. Nobody usually checks that, especially after such a little play like this. But this has opened up possibilities for Zeal. They've kept track of who's on A. They've kept track of how many utilities were thrown out of A main. And they immediately position themselves for an aggressive mid take here. Yes, the switch doors are closed down on Market, but they can immediately open it up. And they're about to explode in this one as Flash does have his lockdown.
Let's take a quick look at just where everything is right now. Look at how far Senior Carl has crept up. He's already this deep into spawn. And this is the gamble. They've gambled 3 players towards B right now. Senior Carl could cut off the rotation here, but Hunter's Fury towards B site. Senior Carl mops up the 2 kills from the flank, and it's a picture-perfect round here. That's a Panda Pro flawless all day, every day. And is just well received. Well done. Like I said, man, I would have liked to see more control for Zeal towards that mid area. They do it exactly right, and they get Senior Carl into a very sneaky position to cut off the rotation onto 2 players, and the rest of B side just falls flat. Amazing run from Zeal, and that's exactly what they were looking for.
Oh, full control from Senior Carl. They line up. Damage done on both ends. One from the rotation, one on the back of the site. There still is money for SV Empire. It seems like they have so much cash to buy for days just because of the fact that they won so many rounds in total. Hot Sauce has joined the B take here. He's going to be throwing the Nano Swarm, but that's not really going to stop Senior Carl from charging right in. Lear, beautiful from Fire Sagen, and this is what we're looking for. The pressure, the combination of abilities from the rest of the members of Zeal. A nice little spray down onto the dinkage of Nexi there, and it's all left to Trix. He's going to be scanning on spawn, finds nobody just because there is that quick little back off by Zeal, knowing that they don't really have to play this that hard. But you know what? Fire Sagen wants to go even harder. 4 kills, 4-7. We're not down in the half just yet, but Zeal have found their stride.
This is what we have been waiting for. We got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Fire Sagen, man, we've been talking about him a lot, and we have missed him sorely on the duelist role. Look at the impact that he brings on these rounds. 4 kills in that last one, and a brilliant round in the previous one. You know, this dynamic duo of Senior Carl and Fire Sagen on the double duelist, it's not really something you should be messing with. I mean, he's alright on the sky, but when push comes to shove, you really want him to be able to be leading by example, leading the charge, getting those entries, and securing the site. This is exactly what he does. Look at how much more confident Zeal looks right now to be taking the duels, to be taking the fights here. As I say that, however, Nexi, he gets dropped off right there, picking off Senior Call rather. The spike still a ways away, and this actually fakes them out because Fire Cyanogen is still on site. That's going to net them at least one kill to secure a lot of position towards A. But what can they do right now? Because the spike looks like it's going towards B here, as Fire Cyanogen still looking to be a nuisance, and he is getting one kill after the other. Overheal, won't matter, he goes down anyway. But that's a sign that there's at least one player towards A, so they're going to gamble the rest of their forces towards B.
And Draxi all but thought that was going to be an A-short rotation from Zeal. It's a 50-50. Sometimes you have to guess, especially when he doesn't really have the utility to check everything. Even if he is that Sova, at least he can use that now to get the info of where the post planters are. But really good stuff from Fire Cyanogen there. Like you said, this is what we were hoping for. This is what we're looking for as people who want to see Zeal pop off. Now, we're left into the 2 versus 3. There's really good positionings. One in B main. Nico's about to explode out. He's waiting, and Hot Sauce not going to know this. Nico comes in. Recon Dart then and there. Lines it up beautifully. Not going to find the final blow, but still in the end, a flawless victory, I would say, for Zeal. Did everything that they need to, even through a bit of losses on that regard. 5-7.
Yeah, 5-7 right now. This is the halftime score that we were hoping to see. You know, they were at 7-1, and they made a perfect comeback 4 rounds in a row. Zeal Esports, they're definitely picking up steam. When Fire Cyanogen gets like this, when Senior Carl gets like this, my God, this is very, very rarely. I mean, it's very rarely ever seen that you can stop them here. Flash, a lot of great contributions on the defensive side, however, and Nico as well with so many almost clutch rounds. It feels like everything is starting to fall into place for Zeal right now, as SV Empire are now forced to figure out the conundrum that is presented before them.
Well, conundrum, big words.
My God.
Well, pistols and a predicament. Oh, Fire Cyanogen backs away. Doesn't want to fight the long distance because he does only have that frenzy. Peeks right back out. Does not see not spotted by the recon dart. Sees the cranium of his opponents. If he swings this, there is a double crossfire that is there. But it don't matter, no, because I got you, babe. Fire Cyanogen's going to just throw out. Not going to get the heal down to half. And he has to respect that there is going to be more coming in. They're all very low on the side of SB Empire. And this is a pretty damn doable round for Zeal.
Indeed, 3 people still standing here, but if you look at their HP, not a lot, and that shock dart's not going to do anything to help them at all. Bringing Draxi down to 69, but here, Trix with a quick pop and kill right there. Pops up and takes one down. 2G Monster going huge with 1. Is able to find a second, looking for the third to close out the round, but it's Fire Cyanogen to do it. And the pistol goes to Zeal. We could be looking at an even score line as Zeal get closer and closer to tying up the game.
For lack of a better term, they're vibing. They're finally adjusting, and it seems like Zeal needed a slow but steady wake-up call. Senior Call keeping them afloat, but once Nico and Fire Cyanogen dip their toes into the we have to get more kills department, it seems like Zeal are finally back to their desired form. For the moment, it's still 6-7. There is that 1 round lead by SV Empire, but with the weapons that you can see right now on your screens, it should be a Zeal win. But, Ilu, we have seen what an after pistol round is for SV Empire, and on the attacking side, it might be even more potent than we could think of.
Yeah, well, let's take a look here. I do think that their pistols have been great, but, you know, everything following it up has been a little bit better thus far, and the comebacks, man, really starting to happen. Zeal, they're primed and ready to tie up this game. SV Empire, however, they are fantastic on these on these eco rounds. They can really hit those shots here, but can they repeat their success? Can they recreate it as they prod their way towards mid? Nobody really getting spotted for the meantime, but Fire Cyanogen just could get a glimpse if he gets the timing right.
Ooh, they found no information whatsoever, but I do like how SV Empire wanted to make some to gather more knowledge about if somebody pushed out of either mid or B main, and then just went straight up for this. a bit too overzealous there, don't you think, Envy? But immediately refragged by Tricks. They are dealing the damage. 2K Monster is holding at the back, does have Fire Sage and right behind him. And as Draxi goes around with this, he still has not found that the Astra is not in the stars, but rather in the A site. And we go 7-7 with Zeal. A pretty ridiculously clean round for them. They've lost a bit, but nothing really that they wouldn't be willing to lose to stop SV Empire from planting down that spike.
Yeah, great round here, and honestly, Fire Cyanogen locking down each site. He's just been such a presence here, and this is what we have been missing from him. I cannot stress enough that when he was on the Sky, sure, he had that presence, but I feel like if he was playing like he was today, back on Arena, back on, you know, any other agent, aside from maybe Sky, as long as he was on a duelist, I do think that we would have seen them in the grand finals. But unfortunately, it just wasn't the case, and hindsight is, of course, 2020. As we now tie up the game 7-7, the first true gun round and a half will we be seeing.
A little bit of a peek. To get using smoke to get out of harm's way. One kill from Senor. Tuga finds another. Envy does get a quick little refrag, but they're starting to slow down a bit here. Losing their smoker really going to hurt their case because now they're going to have to go in dry. And you know what they say. Dry, just not really that good. I don't know. Anyways, they're going to try to go for a B here.
Yeah. B site already a little bit under fire here. As 2 members have been lost for SV Empire. They actually do spot one towards stairs, but they must know that there is still one close, and Flash unable to get anything done. It's Draxi who picks it up. Nico's good for one before he gets traded off here, and it's now a 2v2. And Fire Cyanogen, he's landing those crisp shots. Draxi on 7 HP. Can you do anything? Looking like a yes. 3 kills right here, but that's all he gets, all she wrote. Stugia Monster closes out the round, and Zeal find another big victory under their belt. And that's a bonus round win, Asarai.
That is true. And they just found this from challenging the rest of SV Empire. This is where Zeal really loves to play around. It's just to be able to get the challenge, take a bit of a breather, you have the numbers already, and figure out where you have to go. They knew they were keeping track of the utilities of where specific agents were on the map, and they decided it is going to be a quick enough beat for them. SV Empire back to the drawing board. They don't have any more money. They can go for a half buy. Here's your Globe at Home replay. But in the end, Draxi just got swung so hard, and Tuge, he only had really need to like hit a bullet because his opponent was down to like 7. In any case, this tactical timeout should help SV with what they need to figure on how they're going to have to approach this. It seems like these singular peaks outside of their angles not really working. So I don't know how they're going to be going about this moving forward.
I definitely think that if you look at how SV Empire have been playing the rounds, I feel like they're sacrificing too much for small victories. Something we call a Pyrrhic victory, where they win a fight, but it costs them way too much. And that's definitely happening to them. Sure, they'll get a pick towards A or towards B, but they'll end up losing 2 players or 3 players on the back of it here. They'll end up they give up site and get a pick somewhere else, but they lose the other site completely. I feel like SV Empire, they're just not choosing the right battles at the moment. And if you look at sort of how it's going, sure, they do good on the early game, but then towards the late rounds, you just see Fire Cyanogen mowing them down, getting into the right position, sneaking into the right spots. So same thing with Senior Carl, and they're able to close out these rounds. Now, it's going to be another hit towards A here. Can they make anything happen for SV? It's looking like 2Game Monster will hold passively onto Hell. They haven't checked him just yet. He'll finally go down, and that's a man advantage for SV Empire.
And this is what I think we saw happen between Zeal and another one in, I think, a quarterfinals match. Fire Cyanogen ADS just shot insanity, to say at the least. Really quick trades, and that was too fast to even how to say this, process. Just so much stuff happening, and Zeal at the end, as the dust settles, come out on top. That should have been an SV Empire victory, but I was talking about how Zeal or SV Empire might have just wanted to charge into the site. We saw this, I think, with GXR, but Oh my goodness, that is what just transpired. It's so bad for SV Empire.
Yeah, it's just there's no hesitation on Zeal anymore. Because Fire Saiyajin has found that fire. Fire Saiyajin and Senior Carl, they have been ignited. They're looking like they're emboldened. They're currently just on a war path. And they don't look like they are giving any signs of weakness at all. So far, the solution for SV Empire is to rush onto site. They found moderate success with it. But Trix losing that battle to Fire Saiyajin, even though he's spotted, very questionable right here. Hunter's Fury will slow down the pace of the attack here. But there's still a man advantage for SV Empire. Envy, what can you do? Pushing up close. Senior Carl's right there to deny him because they know it was a possibility. Good backup for Senior Carl. Now it's a 3v3. A lot of damage being exchanged right here as Draxi gets one. Hot Sauce finds the other, and it's all up to Flash, who finds a 1-for-1 exchange. Still dropped onto 12 HP, though, has a turret to work with, but can he find the shots? The Shock Dart will be enough to stave him off, and Hot Sauce will close the round. SV Empire have finally won one after what seems to be forever. The last time they won a round was when it was 7-1, Asarai.
That was... felt like eons ago, Ilu. But I think they figured out that just going again for A, not really a bad decision, but what they needed to go for that is maybe a pick or so. Don't think Zeal was expecting a refresh of what happened the previous round, and it worked out well. Getting Fire Saiyajin down, not having to worry about him on the post plan really helped the case here of SV Empire. Senior Carl finding a couple of picks, but Envy just dashes right in, has the blades out, right click and a beat, and he's looking for more. Does have the Killjoy ultimate, and he finds everything, finds more than he was bargaining for, and we are looking at a really fast take on this B site. A bit of a tag here and there. Fire Saiyajin is here. Flash does have an ultimate as well as the Cosmic Divide, so there is a lot of ultimates to be utilized by Zeal as they try to retake this. They still have the best firepower that they do have, but they don't know. They're peeking everything. They have no idea that 4 members of Zeal have just, or SV Empire have just placed themselves here on the B side.
Fire Saiyajin, let's see what he got. Nothing, absolutely nothing as he gets caught with the Leer in his hands. There's still 2 members left, not really a lot. So they're probably going to go for exit frags here. Happy to sort of lock them into sight and hope that they walk into their crosshairs, make things expensive. Right now, it's looking like it's not going to be a possibility here as Tuge Monster manages to get one, make it a little bit expensive before he goes down. 9-9, a tie game on our hands. SV Empire have figured it out. They've broken the curse. They've broken the deadlock.
Envy was treading on some dangerous waters there. You just saw he was actually just playing outside of, or not actually, but inside the radius of the blast on the spike, and the timer for the round just ended. If not, he would have actually died to that. Now, anyways, looking quickly into the buys of our players here, we have Senior Carl, who has purchased himself a Guardian. Again, to talk about how Guardian very much underutilized by a lot of these teams. I think the only one that comes out that really loves to play this particular weapon is Vash from Bren, or Jesse Vash from Bren specifically. But now we're going to see how Senior Carl does it. But as you can see, his HP drains to 30, and they have no healer to keep him topped off.
Exactly. There's no way to get healed up, but they do have 2 big ultimates. Senior Carl will just be looking to hold passive and hopefully get a couple of kills right there. Maybe somebody walks into his crosshair or not, but don't think he's going to be taking any more aggressive peeks after that. Sitting down very, very low here as the members of SV Empire, they gear towards B. They do try to find a little bit of a map control here, and they will find out that B main is completely empty. They are potentially just playing a little bit of a crossfire here, but let's see how Zeal can handle this. They've got Fire Saiyajin on this sort of off angle, will be forced into the back of the site there by that recon, and they're going to be straight up dashing onto that side here. Some information garnered. Envy getting a kill through the smoke. Really good pickup to find here, but oh my god, that fadeaway tap here. Fire Saiyajin now into the back of site, unable to get any more, but what was that from Envy?
1 enemy remaining.
Okay, Tuki Monster's the last man standing. Envy finally with a shot. He was insane already, so let's give it to Envy. He just started it all. My god. these through the smoke plays make you just want to say there's a vacuum shot somewhere, somehow, but
That was definitely a Shesh moment.
Shesh moment, exactly.
Yeah, that was 100% Shesh. Oh, man.
Yeah.
The fadeaway one tap, just blind, just lucky guess right there. And now Zeal has to call for a tactical pause. Definitely they need to do this, and it's a great time to do it now. Uh, they have to figure out what they're going to do with their economy, who they're going to drop pistols for if they are, or whether they're just going to go for a half buy here. And I think what they need to figure out is what they're doing wrong on the defense, because thus far they're just losing map control and they're losing the late stages of the rounds. I definitely think a little bit more affirmative map control towards mid, maybe try to take a play towards A main or B main, just secure a little bit more than what they have, because right now they're just sitting back into sites and getting overrun.
They're kind of waiting and hoping that they can just find these quick little angles. The problem is they can get about a kill or so, but at the price of just not having that proper control around the site, as you mentioned, Elu. So they're kind of leaving certain players out in islands where I think Zeal just has to go for a straight up retake with a full 5, or like you said, put a bit more control into before the opponent takes control of that site or gets a push into the site. Now there is just going to be a weak buy for Zeal, a couple of frenzies here and there, a Spectre or so, but hasn't really amounted to anything. And really loving the setups with the Nano Swarm. 2K is already almost down. There's a quick little charge in. Senor Carl still through the confusion of it finds a kill. 2K Monster also finds another one. And Zeal, where have they found this bit of information, bit of movement as they get kill after kill? That was supposed to be a quick trigger for SV Empire, but I guess triggers do backfire on you, and it did. 10-10.
Zeal, they thrive in the chaos. These guys know how to trick you. These guys know how to make you dance for them. And you saw a prime example of that on that A-side hit. As you can see, it was Senor Carl who get a quick shot, dashes out to the other side. Normally you'd think he'd go back. Nope, swings the other way and lets his teammates do all the rest of the work here. Plays it so intelligently before he even goes down. And one by one, they all fall to Zeal, who was so affirmative on that one. And that's what I want to see from them. Confident rotations, confident re-peaks, backing up their teammates. It's exactly what you want if you're Zeal here.
That is... I mean, there are setups as well being thrown out by SV Empire, but Zeal just shrugged it off. Fire Saiyajin holding his angle right there into the corner. This could actually be a really good spot because he hasn't been spotted by the Sova drone. And look at the headshot angle that he does have right now. Envy could be in a really bad spot if he's not really aware of the scenario.
Oh no.
But he just wide swings and Fire Saiyajin. What? No way he gets another. Envy's hounding him down, but Singer Carl has played around the corner, hunting still this opponent, but the 180 turnaround headshot. Envy, are you kidding? 2 versus 3. Not the end of the world just yet. Okay, Hot Sauce left to his own. Can he go for the moi spicy plays? Looks like he is, but loses the bullets. Had to reload, and Zeal only need 2 more rounds. But I just got appointed. Envy, what a freaking beast. The reaction time, uncanny from this player.
Yeah, but you also have to point out, though, that honestly, Fire Saiyajin and Senor Carl, 2 of the biggest whiffs. Well, no. Fire Saiyajin's whiff was all right, but Senor Carl's whiff was pretty bad. Just really no way that ever should happen. Look at this. Let's take a quick look at that. So awkward. No. And then even just quick click. Bam!
Oh, he had his back on him too. Oh.
SV got to think about what just happened right there, because Envy made everything happen for his team and nobody else could pick it up. It's really rather unfortunate because Envy on that round, he's got to be feeling frustrated. He's probably thinking, I got you guys 2 entries. I need everybody to start supporting a little bit better because nobody else followed up. There were a couple of kills. I mean, there was like 1 more kill, I think, right after that. But, you know, just the numbers game, it wasn't played properly. Zeal are so good at those mid-round rotations thus far that SV Empire are kind of left stunned at how quickly the rotations are coming in from SV. from Zeal, excuse me.
Well, seems like SV Empire, they're going to put a lot of creds into this round. Two more before Zeal says bye-bye. And they are going to really force the issue here and now. Blades to come out immediately from Envy here. Wants to find a pick that Gravity Well not really capitalized upon, but it does stop the rest of Zeal from, or SV Empire from just charging in. The question is, with this lockdown, are they really going to go in, or are they going to bait something? But if nobody hears anything from like dashes and whatnot, I don't think SV Empire will try to commit into this one. But as they lose somebody from the other side of the map, they don't have really anything else to do but just to force themselves in. But here comes the big problem, Ilu. There is 3 big ultimates that Zeal can use on this retake. Empress, Lockdown, as well as that Cosmic Divide. Envy is in no man's land trying to run away, doesn't want to get hit by the wall banks. Flash now going to have to worry about his ultimate being drawn, but that Hunter's Fury is not going to be up anymore for anything else. And look at that, as they were trying to clear out that lockdown from the Killjoy, they just make it work. Zeal knew what they had to do. They just baited out the ultimate, and it was a clean round for them. 4 people remaining.
Just a perfect example of a retake from Zeal there. I'm a little bit confused as to why Trix was alone on A short, and he got shot from the back. Absolutely nobody checking. I guess nobody expected anyone to push through mid, but you know, that aggressive play by Fire Cyajin, such a treat to watch here because they are looking so much more confident after that. Tactical pauses work. Teams really need to start using them because after that tactical pause, Zeal started really racking up the rounds.
Yeah, they were, again, the reset. Their ability to talk with your coach as well and what you need to do, Senor Carl. And SV Empire, they've just had it. They just want to keep going for these fights. A quick little dash in. Hot Sauce finds Senor Carl. Wallbang beautifully done. And Envy, he's trying to separate the rest. Takes a bit of time to get the kill off, but Nico has the wide swings. There's just nothing in Envy. He hasn't reloaded his weapon. Now only going to do so. And Tuge, last to remain on this Astra. He's going to just have to play around the barrels for here, but there's just too many targets. Maybe he can find a pick and then use his Cosmic Divide. But even then, Envy, I think Envy's just not going to lose this. Even picks up the Operator, you know, not going to lick his wounds and open up a big tear onto the seal, onto the seal of Zeal. And we're 12-11. This could be possibly going into overtime.
Yeah, this is almost... this is the last round here of regulation. Look at this. Fire Cyajin, 23. Hot Sauce, 24 kills. There is just some hard lifting happening all across both sides here. And it's a treat to watch because, you know, we're about to go into this last round and the chances of overtime are pretty high. Both squads, look at that. Great initiation, great opening hit pick here by Senor Carl. Exactly what they needed to find. Some aggressive play, some aggressive peaks, and he gets 2. That's going to give Zeal a massive chance to go and avoid overtime and take the first game of the series.
They already knew that Carl was going to have an operator there. He challenges, and he's not going to miss a beat. So explosive this player is. And as everybody was just looking at mid, this is the most anticlimactic loss, I would say, for a round to happen. Next, he does get a kill, though, but he gets tagged down to 30. Draxi to remain as well on the other side of the map. And they're getting hunted. You can already see the movements of Zeal on the map. Flash is going to come out from mid link already, and he knows the spike was dropped somewhere on Fridge. And this is where this could really turn the tables for SV Empire or turn the round against them. Next, he's going to have to pick up that spike. 40 seconds. And Flash, oh, just beautiful timing. Last one on Draxi. Picks up the Operator, but he's going to have to dance around the ultimates here. Not really a lot of time in the world left. He gets a kill, but spotted out by the Hunter's Fury, and the ultimate will take him down. Game number 1, Zeal take it.
Zeal starting off strong here. I guess my prediction still holds true. I was getting a little worried when I saw the 7-1. But again, Fire Cyajin, he is something special on the arena. I'm happy to see him back on it. I'm happy to see him back on, you know, the proper, you know, duelist, the proper entries, because we've been missing that for the most part previously when he was playing on Sky.
Yeah, and again, it took him a bit of time to get there. but sometimes you just need a little bit longer, to release your true self. And Fire Agent really found his mark. Lots of things being done, but you cannot deny that I think one of the most consistent players for that game one really has to be Senor Carl. He is just by far so intelligent and so confident with how he peaks that every angle that he gets, he's almost always ensured to kill.
Indeed. But let's take a look at the MVPs right now. Hot Sauce and 24. So they're tit for tat. 24 kills each. Just a little bit of a higher KDA for Hot Sauce here, but still, Fireside in so many rounds that he was able to entry and get a number of double kills here. Just goes to show that he is a man unleashed. This is what we've been waiting to see here. Nico back on the Sova. I'm thoroughly liking it. I do like the fact that, we've said before, Nico, one of the best Sovas around and one of probably the best Sova in the country. And it shows. It's showing now. This is the Zeal that we all know and love. Unfortunately, it's still a battle for third place. I mean, it's still a big deal, don't get me wrong. But I would have loved to see it yesterday.
And this is just, again, like you said, that battle for third. Looking into the stats, it's actually pretty neck and neck. The big problem here, I think, with SV Empire is there's just these little bits of time where they peak and it just falls down on them. I think what happens is they try to get these singular picks that they kind of play upon, as with Envy, but the problem there was I think they tried to did it at a longer distance with mid, and it kind of backfired on them, especially when Singer Carl was already on his operator. Now we're just going to be witnessing a couple of these highlights. One of my favorite ones, tricks, blind, dismiss, style. Love that.
Honestly, probably one of the biggest outplays that we've seen here in the VCT. It's just a pleasure to watch. It's so hard to watch. It hurts to watch it because, man, Nico just got styled on.
Look at that. Woo! Zeal really finding their blitz here. And a lot of the rounds, I think, that they did lose was because of how Envy just kind of jackhammered his way to break the concrete defense of Zeal there. The final blow with the Hunter's Fury. We're still not done with this one, Elu, just yet. We still have a next map to go, but this does indicate that I think the chat was talking about it as well. SV Empire seeming to be a team that struggles to finish off a game. It seems like the start of the rounds so good for them. They can build momentum. They can build advantages as well. But once those advantages kind of dwindle, it seems like it's going to be their opponents that get that W.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and this is something that they'll need to address in the future. Coming 6-0 advantages that have slipped away from them, it's happened time and time again, and it cannot happen anymore if they want to keep going and doing better. But for now, we have to take a short break. Game number 2 is coming up, so don't go anywhere, guys. My name is Illustrato. This is Asarai. We're your casters here at the VCT Philippines, and we will return with game number 2 with SV Empire and Zeal Esports.
That make my mind scared, hold me hostage and they don't fight fair. Who gon' pray for me and wipe on my tears? Who gon' save me if you not right here? Move this darkness and make my sight clear. Take me your way cause I don't like here. Ghost of my past, they feeling the night air. Wake me up, I'm trapped in my nightmares. Wake me up, I'm trapped in my nightmares. Drowning, I'm off the deep end. Apparitions of all my demons. All my thoughts are committing treason. All alone, who gon' hear me screaming? Manifestations of my fears. Regrets that stretched out for light years. Can almost touch the light, homie, it's right there. Body free but trapped in my nightmares. Wake me up, don't let me drown. All the lights are fading now. All my life is fading now. All my life is fading now. Wake me up, don't let me drown. All my life is fading now. All my life is fading now. Body free but trapped in my nightmares.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number one. It started SV Empire's way, but it went the other as Zeal definitely closed the deal on that first game. Now we are looking at this next split map to see if Zeal can be our third placers for the Stage 3 Week 1 at VCT Philippines. My name is Asarai. Joining with me now is Illustrado. And my man, what a topsy-turvy game wherein it was just a back and forth, but in the end, Zeal really was the victor of that first game.
Yeah, I think it has to go without saying here that 7-1 leads, you should be able to close them out. It's happened to them in the previous day. A lot of the time, it was just them losing momentum, losing steam. And this is something that SV Empire has to combat. We said this before in other analysis that, on previous days, that SV Empire is a very emotionally driven team, a very momentum-driven team, that when it's taken away from them, it's so hard to take back. And you saw it, case in point there. You started off the round with Tricks being, oh my god, the crazy plays and the outplays, and then suddenly falling off hard towards the end. And the same thing applies to Envy. Envy is either making insane openings for his team or just pushing in and getting, not killed without even getting traded. So this is definitely something that they do have to work out, I think, in the boot camp going further. It's a great start from them. There's a lot of great aim and potential on this team, but there's a lot that they got to work on in the back end if they want to keep making successful appearances in the VCT.
Split is one of those maps that can really show if a team has that worked out or not. And we have seen teams that have joined during this weekend just implode on Split. I think one of the matches that we saw was the one with SV Empire and South Build Esports, especially on this Split map. So if that gets flipped over the heads of SV Empire, we could be seeing Zeal end it for the second and just, plummet or accelerate us to the grand finals.
Indeed, the grand finals coming up very, very soon. But before we talk about the grand finals itself, it's going to be the potentially second game here. And SV Empire, let's face it, it's not their best map. Zeal, I think that they have this. I think it's going to be a 2-0. But, before we go into the predictions, I do want to talk about the picks here. The Astra has been quite good for Zeal on Split before. I do like that they're bringing out Flash again, the double Sentinel. Even though they're starting on the attacking side, I definitely think that Senior Carl and Farsigen on the double duelist will be enough to create openings for them to get onto those sites.
Well, that's a very bold statement to go, but I have to resonate with that. I feel like there is just a bit more oomph on the Senior Carl train here. And he's been really on point with his jet. So this could work out in the end. Looking at the teams, technically it's kind of, in a sense, a mirror match. Because you're seeing a double duelist, one Sentinel, one controller, and a Sage. It's just a slight differentiation of how these teams approach. And you're seeing with the Zeal having that Astra, again, even through the Astra nerfs and whatnot, they still love to play with that. Because they want to force these close range fights that a gravity well just artificially allows them to do so. Now, on the other hand, with SV Empire having Draxi playing as this Omen, it just seems that they're a bit more rotation heavy. If we don't get a pick here, we're going to plug it first with the smoke and then rotate and then try to figure something out. But again, these close range quarter combats, Zeal really excels at. For SV Empire, it's all about the rotations, and we're seeing that here and now. With 3 seconds on the clock, pistol is so paramount to get the advantage first.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, the pistol, it's been quite good for SV Empire. They have been successful on it. But then again, Zeal have been proving difficult to deal with, you know, with those frenzy setups. So many times that they just get onto site, and the moment they have the site, they never let it go. Their post plants on Zeal have been so phenomenal, but can they make something happen here as Farsigen drop into 22, gets tagged up all the way towards mid here. That's going to allow for a little bit of a rotation now, and B main going to be pushed up here. See if they can hold the line. In fact, it will be the case. Good kill from Flash. Trade, will it be possible? Doesn't look like it just now. Draxi getting almost dropped to nothing. Farsigen from mid knows how to capitalize on this missed position. And Trix all alone onto site also has been picked up on here. And Envy, he's going to get a kill here before getting tagged somehow. All right. I see you, Farsigen. And 2Game Monster just cleans things up. What a round from Zeal, man. Too clean.
Yeah, and I did mention how Zeal just really loves to enforce these plays. With that Astra, it seems like Tuga has played this so much that he just knows when to utilize his utility. So Senior Carl and Farsigen's playstyle gets amplified the most. SV Empire got a taste of that in a sense, but it's so obvious now coming into Split. Still very early into the rounds, and we'll have to see how SV Empire try to deal or adjust to this very stifling set of play that comes in from their opponents. Trix, not really, supposedly should be missing that. Has to back off, but as he throws out his utility and the nades, it's going to be fine and dandy for him. Senior Carl is charged out, uses the Cloud Burst to allow himself to rotate back in, but as his teammates make a lot of sploshing into sewers, he's going to have to find some more, which he does, and now we're left to Draxi, who's just like with the, with the shorty in 22. As he peeks here, he should die.
Spike planted.
Yeah, definitely, but he's going to hold a close angle here. Will Senior Carl check it? Yes, he will, and 4 kills for Senior Carl on that eco. It's going to be a great round, and I love the fact that he's still running with the Ghost. A lot of players will go straight up for the Spectre, but I'm happy to see that some of these players, some of these teams will go for still that eco on the second round and stick on that Ghost because they think it's still more than enough, which definitely will help them coming towards the bonus rounds. And even if it's not a bonus round, he can go straight for a rifle, and it's going to be an amazing pick here. So while we're checking the Globe at Home replay, let's take a look as well at the buy here. Will Senior Carl's really sticking on this Ghost, even though he could afford a Vandal and even have enough for the round after that.
It's probably, they just want to get they're just going to maximize their money, I think. Bonus round here, bonus round there. If Senior Carl can get an orb, 2 orbs, and die, he's going to have his blades up for the next round, or even just a kill and or an orb and a death would pretty be good for him already. I don't think it would be that far off to say that it's just fine to even go for a Ghost, especially if you can just play those close range combats. And him being a Jet as well, if he peeks a corner by himself, he can always just tailwind out, get that information for his team, and work around. That's maybe why we're seeing him just go for about this, but we are on a technical timeout, and maybe he's going to buy something else as we go and resume this particular round. For the moment, though, SV Empire will be now on to the rifles. And this is where we have to ask ourselves, are they going to be adjusting to their opponents, or are they going to be trying to get a lot more control now that they should have the upper hand in terms of the firepower?
Yeah, let's go ahead and see how this works out for them as the technical timeout comes in. Wonder which one is having a technical issue here. It's definitely a problem. Okay, looks like Senior Carl will actually go ahead and upgrade to the Spectre. Because he's still, even if they do lose this round, he'll still have enough for a Vandal next round anyway. So
yeah.
a bonus round, true and true.
Kind of overdid my statement there about how he could just, play with the Ghost. But, like you said, he'll have enough money. He doesn't really need the extra, let's say 2,000 creds going into the next round if he can already buy a rifle, right? So makes more sense. And he can just refrag with his team. make the run and gun even more potent. Lots of pros, not enough cons. And quiet before the storm. Just gonna point out as well here, SV Empire, they were the ones that were able to beat South Built. But again, I think that was just because their opponents not really versed too much on split. But we have seen Zeal time and time again just dominate this with really, how do you say that? A dominant fashion. So they have to be ready for it. And the setup seems to be pretty good. Cypher on A, get a nade from the Raze if ever things go haywire. And then for mid, as Envy peeks out, if he's not too good, Tailwind out, wall in. Drax is the only weak link into this one, but even then he has a smoke as well as a paranoia.
Yeah, and we're a little bit stalling out here. Just as we're figuring out who exactly is having a technical problem. But, thank you again for joining us. We have so many giveaways here on stream in the VCT. We got, on top of the chairs, we got the Valorant points, the amazing mousepad and mouse from Predator. So if you guys don't know how to do that, please do check out, the rest of the day. We'll be announcing the winners at the very end of it. And if you guys are excited to be winning some prizes, well, you got to tune in for the rest of this, because after the grand finals, you got to stay locked into your seats. But we do have, we're starting to have a good idea on what's exactly happening. Apparently, SV Empire is having a little bit of a problem, technically. So we're still sort of sorting this out right now. But any predictions, Asarai? Who do you think is going to be taking this one?
I still think that SV Empire can go for that reverse sweep. I know we've been hyping Zeal a lot now, and they have been just playing exceedingly well, especially with Fire Sage and now finding his rhythm. But I feel like SV Empire still has a lot of opportunities to kind of get back into this one, especially if Envy gets exceedingly hot on this jet. We've seen how just by himself, he finds the entry frags that he needs to. And if he can replicate that, it would be a pretty good time for them. But he needs to know when to go in and when not. Because I think that's the problem here. He gets those opportunities because of SV Empire back in this end map. But I think he tries too hard now. But we'll see how he's able to translate that later on when we do go for the resume. But yeah, to answer your question, fairly and simple, I think SV Empire can go for this reverse sweep and get themselves as that third placers.
Yeah, so we're expecting maybe this timeout to drag on a little bit. So while we're over here and kind of just hanging out, everybody get your snacks. Hope you guys have had your lunches. It is about nighttime to maybe have that late lunch and make sure that you guys are all settled in for the rest of this evening. It's going to be quite exciting here. We do have the grand final coming up, and I do think we're going to get started now. There we go.
Maybe they can get you because you're a snack, bro.
Oh my god, here we go. Getting it started again, Asarai, but I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite. Not right now. While we're about to go into the round, finally.
Why are you gonna bite? You're the snack, bro.
Oh, help me out here, somebody. Director, save me. No, nobody's gonna come to my rescue. I just know it here, but oh, thank you. He's gonna get muted.
Oh, but speaking of muted, that's a nade to shut him up. Another peek out with the Phantom, and this is where SV Empire showed us that their setup is nothing to be trifled or joked around with. Fire Sage finds a pick. That's going to be a trade-off on the other side of the map, but this is going to be leaving us into a 2 versus 4. Damage be done in terms of economy, but there's not really a lot more bodies that Zeal can throw around. And Fire Sage, he wants to go for the cross. He's waiting for the timing here, but this could actually be good because he's going to make a lot of noise onto the A site.
Party's over.
Senior Carl finds one, beautifully executed, and they can actually take the site quite cleanly. But Envy's already waiting at screens. Fire Sage a sentry on top of Heaven, and maybe, just maybe, this 2 versus 4 has translated into a 2 versus 2.
Spike planted.
Yeah, somehow this round has sort of turned on its head as Fire Sage, he gets sniffed out there by Envy. Senior Carl in a 1v2. We're going to be paranoid out of the picture for now, and Envy just trying to jiggle peek, trying to get some information here. But in a 1v1, he reads the direction wrong. Looks the wrong way, and it's going to be Envy to bring it back 2-1. As for now, SV Empire have secured themselves a place in this best of 3. They have gotten their first round on the board in this half, and it's looking like a pretty decent one.
That was still hella expensive. SV Empire. I'm curious to see how much money they do have. I don't have the exact computation of it, but they should be on probably like 3 rifles, and then everything else is going to be like on Spectres or something. But oh, that's not even the case. They're going to just be on such a broken bio. It's only Envy who does have a Vandal, but we have seen games. I think that was the game with SR Kadiliman where shotguns on split are king, and Trix being on a judge, you know he's going to make that happen. But oh, Envy finds a kill though. This
Spike
could
down, mid.
work well in their favor. Never mind. Envy finds 2 on mid out of nowhere.
Yeah, just peeking out and taking the fight. See, Envy, again, it's very hit and miss, and this time he hits twice. Can they turn it around? Yes, Nico finds a frag. All right, but is there going to be a follow-up on it? Doesn't look like Flash is expecting this. They do have Draxi playing the close angle just to check if there's anybody close by or anybody pushing towards B main, and Flash does spot one out. Doesn't expect... Draxi could actually get a very important frag here. They don't think that he's here. He gets spotted out. Draxi gets... What? The check, the hard check. Draxi's going to be absolutely annoyed that that's happened here.
Give me those back.
Well, you know who's going to be...
Oh, he gets the timing. All from above. What a beautiful play right there. Not done, because he just made the round his own.
Wow, just...
Spike planted.
Draxi was just minding his business, but you know what? It was poking out a bit. And by bit, I was talking about the barrel of his Vandal. I'm pretty sure Flash just saw it as he was peeking in. He was probably scanning with his eyeballs all the way left and right and see it. It was just a bit too overexposed, you know? Oh, a little bit of a peek there from Hot Sauce. He didn't really take too much damage, but had to go for the quick little reload. And now he's pressed for time, has to go right in. And he knows if someone is lurking underneath him, and from the depths of hell, Flash gets the last kill, 3-1. And Zeal make it to a very, very convincing round. SV Empire back to the drawing board.
Yeah, the reset is real here. They did lose a lot of players on their actual rifle round, and so they were forced onto this quasi-buy. And yet again, it's Envy starting the round strong, but the rest of the team still unable to make things happen. So a lot of questions left defensively, I mean offensively rather. And this isn't the first time this has happened. You saw it again on Ascent where Envy would get 2 kills on the opening, but the round would still fall flat on its face. And this has got to be frustrating for them right now. They have to find a way to sort of create a chain of kills, but it doesn't look like they're going to be allowed to do that. As Flash, he's going to get 1, so will Trix. But the rest of the members of SV Empire, oh no, big whiff right there from Envy from up close. And that's the round for sure. Flash with the shorty, all right, is able to get 1, but my shotgun's bigger. My shotgun's better, says Senor Carl. He doesn't even pick up. Okay, he goes to pick it up, but still. In the battle of shotguns, the judge reigns supreme.
Well, I guess in that regard, size does matter. So
I mean, it does most of the time. Like for
Ouch.
cameras, at least.
Yeah, with cameras, because we can see
I'm
it from
sorry,
our
I don't
POV.
mean to hurt your
right?
feelings, Asarai. I just,
It's okay.
I just say it like it is.
Yeah. At least all shotguns are automatic, you know. So they can fire multiple shots at a time. Because how many
Right.
shots at a time they could fire is what separates the judgers from the shorties.
Oh,
Peel getting that nice little kill. Styling, Draxi finds himself an in and out like the burger. There's the big nades, and Trix just got bamboozled from behind. Spike has been dropped. They're not really gonna force the issue anymore, but the damage be done. They've expended Flash's ultimate as well, and Zeal here left with their head scratching a bit. But Senor Carl, he's waiting for this wall. But if he does jump above this, there's like 2 waiting on the other side to punish him if he ever does do so.
yeah, that's already 2 kills they found in this round. That's the res expanded and used, and they've also lost the lockdown here. Now, they're going to have to find a pick if they were to be successful in this round. Senor Carl is in a good position to do it. Trix right on the edge of that. He's going to land a shot onto Senor Carl, and that's going to be the mid presence completely shut down by SV Empire. Zeal looking to prod somewhere else and, you know, see maybe try to test their luck on towards A.
Hansa's gonna be on the case, waiting for 1. They all line up as they all fall down. focusing too much on the operator that is Envy. And SV Empire finally find themselves another round after such a bit of, I would say, just haphazard rounds against the Zeal. In any case, still not done. They haven't broken the will of Zeal just yet, as well as their economy. So Zeal should be able to buy up quite cleanly coming into this next round. They were taken aback by the play that was on B main, but now that there's no real big ultimates, they can just go and again hammer in onto the B side if they should want to go there.
That's a really nice orb that we're looking at, aren't we? Oh, there we go. Thank you, observers. As we go back into the actual game, Envy is looking for a shot here towards B main, and how's he going to address this problem right now? Nobody really wants to hard peek it because they know that there's actually an operator at least somewhere, so nobody hard committing towards anywhere. They do have that 1-2 setup. They do have Draxi playing up close, and he has been good with getting the opening picks thus far. There still are 2 big ultimates for Zeal. They use one now, trying to get towards that side here, but Envy spotting out the leg. They don't want to overpeak this angle. He gets spotted out. Oh, falls down just in time here as Draxi from up close gonna get traded right now, and that's gonna be the B side secured here. 2G Monster looking to push towards Hell. Will they expect him up close already, as right now the retake now commencing, planted for B main here, and there's time taken away.
Taken away numbers. Fire Saiyajin has activated the Empress already. He's down to 69 HP, which is nice, but we'll see how he tries to heal that back up. 2G Monster has been dragged down to 33. Trades here and there. Hot Sauce coming in from Raptors, finds the first, but now he's the only one to remain as Envy has dropped. He also drops himself nearer to where his opponents are, but they've doubled up. If he can actually find him, this is beautiful because he can go in for a spray control, but they're hearing him too loudly, and they go around, ring around the Rosie on the pillars, and that is going to be another win for Zeal.
I like the play. I like the play to go for the double peek and just to not risk it. I mean, and to risk it rather, and that lands them around. That's all right. That's a really, really good way to come back into this. They lose so much investment on this. I do have to point out, Nexi struggling 7 rounds in, still 0-6, just not finding his stride. They have to find a way to bring back Nexi because Nexi is one of the most crucial players on this squad. Nexi brings so much to the table when he can hit those shots, but it just doesn't seem like it's his game right now when everything is so crucial. Whoa!
Okay, that was Senior Carl.
I thought it was Fire Saiyajin. Yeah, we both were like, no way. But still, Trix and Envy chiming in with a kill here, and they make things expensive towards mid. Just the aggressive push towards mid gets shut down, gets denied, as the buy is still good here for SV Empire. 2 players left standing, and what seemed to be a little bit of a headlong push towards mid gets absolutely head-butted by SV Empire, and they're looking to bring things to a 5-3. Nice one-tap from Flash there. You heard it all the way echoing across the map, resounding. And it's still a 1v3 here for Flash. He's got to make something happen if he wants. He needs a pick at least in the next few seconds. Fortunately, he still has 1 minute to play with. 1
minute as well as a good chunk of HP. And he's kind of read this right. If he can find Draxi, there's nobody else on the B side that's really going to be playing against him. Well, Draxi finds him first. That is going to be a round for SV Empire. So when SV Empire finds where Zeal is going to be charging out and challenges them, that's when they get the most success. We've seen this in that previous round. We've seen this when Trix was going wild with the showstopper, and we've seen it on the other round as well. And if SV Empire can find these nice little duels that they can hop over against Zeal, they might be in a good spot in this first half. But for now, Zeal still has that economy to go about. Senior Carl not buying up, is looking to maybe go for the blades. Never mind, does get his Spectre, but still in the end, they're not really gonna go too deep into the angles just yet. But as I say that, Hot Sauce out of nowhere.
Ooh. Hot Sauce with 2 big kills. Could get a third, but it's Envy to back his team up here. And oh no, he walks into... Oh! The worst thing that could ever have possibly happened, and it happened there. Just a perfect example. Oh no. Just walking into the boom bot. Sheesh. That's Murphy's Law in action. Like,
what
The
could
worst
go
thing that
wrong.
could happen.
Yeah.
Everything that could go wrong will go wrong, and it did. You dash away from hot sauce, bam, right, right into Senior Carl, and that hurts to watch.
Well, at least for fans of SV Empire, that is beautiful to watch because
Oh,
these timely peaks from Hot Sauce again has really amounted to a lot of kills here and there. Flash out of nowhere finds Envy. We just wanted to see something happening on B main there. Not the end of the world just yet, but Singer Carl, he's deadly with these blades. Flungs himself in the front. Flash gets the nice little bit of pick here, and everybody just dropped down dead. As it's only how to say this, Singer Carl and Flash that make the damage happen. Tuga Monster is just gonna be charging out if he wins this.
No way he wins that.
Oh my god, he jumped up for it too. That could have been stylish. But then
No way he wins that fight. Oh, that's a Predator Thrifty and a half for sure. Why are they so good on ecos?
my dude, you look like a total badass if you get that kill jumping up and down. But you look like a total fool if you get fragged out by your opponent as you're doing it.
But what if you 360 no scope?
That's amazing. The duality
So,
of a pro, of a Valoranter.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's either you die a highlighter or you live yourself long enough to be called a pleb.
You either die a pogger or live long enough to see yourself
Become a
as a
pug.
kappa.
Become a pug.
A pug. Yeah. Indeed. 4 big ultis for SV Empire here. And if they can make it to full use and potentially reset Zeal's economy, we could be looking at 6-6. But this is a great start on the attacking side for Zeal. Their attack on Split is normally not this good. And honestly, I do have to attribute it to a lot of kind of whiffs and a lot of missed duels from SV Empire because they are misreading things. Zeal is just on form. I like the idea for SV Empire. They have a lot of great setups, a lot of creative setups. I like that they take B main every now and then. But still, Zeal sniff it out. Zeal too aware, too, diligent to be fooled by advanced crossfires or setups that other teams might not expect.
30 seconds left.
Draxi
Should run.
getting a step out of the back of B has played around the corner here. This Killjoy ultimate seems to be a full commitment, but they still have to be aware that there could be somebody who's just going to be holding the angle. That could have been Trix, but Fire Saiyajin knew what was going to be happening. We knew what was going to be coming. And look at this. They try to challenge as soon as the lockdown dissipates, but it's not really going to work out in the end. And Fire Saiyajin,
No way.
a bit of movement. Okay, Foon, and then whips out the Sheriff, gets a kill off, and we're down to like 7-4.
Honestly, it's whiffs, man. Like, Far Saiyajin should have never been allowed to even bring out his Sheriff.
He picked up a Sheriff.
Yeah, I mean, still,
It's disgusting.
like he was out of bullets. He picks up okay, I'll just use this to kill you. All the while, he's still being sprayed down, and bullets tracing around him like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's I don't know. It's just the aim's just not going SV's way. I feel like they're tilted.
That tilted, over eager, and wanting to go for that big surprise. Like if they try to push in and you peek out, they're not going to expect it because they already have the site technically with the lockdown. But I think that will happen with a team that doesn't understand the possible repercussions if you're just not having your weapon out. But up against Zeal, it's not going to work. A little bit of a gap for Draxi. Doesn't even spot that his opponent was able to jump up, I think. Now Trix is going to have to hold heaven as there's one Fire Saiyajin waiting around the precipice of that corner. There will be a boombot to be thrown. But look at where the rest of SV Empire, or rather Zeal, have placed themselves on. Perfect timing. And they're about to explode this with 40 seconds left on that timer.
Yeah, they've run the clock down a little bit, but definitely have enough time. Oh, mid-air, Envy swatted away. As Senior Carl show him who's
30
boss.
seconds left.
And right now, it's looking like it's gonna be an 8-4 big ultimate. Senior Carl not stopping. He's challenged onto Trix, and the duelists of Zeal are putting on a show. Senior Carl's found a third. He could find a fourth. Wrapping around towards Nexi. They know where he is. A desperate call for a revive here, but it's desperate, and that's all it leads to. Flash with a big swing out. Doesn't even bother watching his buddy's body. And that's going to be all she wrote for the first half. 8-4. Zeal on the attacking side. What a transition.
You've heard about pay transfer, where there's InstaPay. But have you heard about InstaSpray? That was so quick from Flash.
InstaSpray. Now we need to get a money transfer sponsor, right? Like, we're gonna have to tell PBGL we have, because imagine the possibilities.
The perfect advertisements, or the perfect rundown. That was an InstaSpray moment brought to you by.
That was an InstaSpray moment. Make sure that you spray your sprays with InstaPay. This is why they pay us. Maybe we should be in marketing. Let's retire and settle down. But, as I say that, Envy did pick up right there. And Farsigen right there with the trade-off. Oh, he gets away from the paint shell. 27 HP. The clutch heal will keep him alive for now in this 4v4. They're trying to chase him, man. I mean, Farsigen. Wait, no way he gets this off angle. No way, come back. Oh, he wins! He wins it! He gets traded out, doesn't matter. 2G Monster right there with a bite back 2v2 right now as they go towards B, and they have turned things on his head. There are duels in this game. They should never be winning, and they're coming out on top like it's nobody's business.
Wow, that was just so quick. They left into a 2 versus 2. Pretty much doable by both of the teams. Nice little heal there for Tuga just to keep him topped off. Back to 100. Spots out one already. They see one dropping in from under Raptors, but the quick little trades off, and that is going to be SV Empire getting a W in the end. 8-5. Still not too big for SV, but step in the right direction nonetheless.
Definitely, and big round to get. The pistol round on attacking side is on split is probably one of the most crucial rounds here. You don't want to let the defense get too much too early on. As the attacking side, the disfavored side, you want to be able to hold off. You want to be able to hold on to it and secure that pistol round and sort of propel you forward. Now, SV Empire, they still have to deal with the eco rounds of Zeal, and that's easier said than done because Zeal's eco have been just as potent as their actual full buys.
It has been. Okay. Senior Carl right outside the corner here. And he has been the spearhead for the rest of Empire for now, but they do try to challenge Fire Sage, and good timing. Can he get dismissed? Not going to happen. Trick's already working his way up onto A Heaven, leaving Flash to his own devices, who gets spotted at Ninja, and he's just going to be flying, zooming at the back of the site. Not going to spot anyone there, as Tuge is going to be on to spawn. Even sprays, which gives away his positioning, but in the end, Envy spots 8-6. It's the Empire, creating advantages, hoping for opportunities.
Yeah, good spray down to preemptively shut down any potential Sheriff pickoffs. 8-6 as we look at the scoreboard right now. Nexi still not having the game of his life. Still 3 kills after 15 rounds. And you'd hope that he'd step up because, Nexi is the missing piece to this victory. Nexi is one of the best players locally, I'd say, all around. One of the best flexers. Just not hitting his shots, and oh my god, that's a pretty shot right there. But Flash is there to chime in with a quick trade. So is Hot Sauce now. They're tagging him up, but also traded out of position. Senior Carl from the back. He's going to get a turnaround kill, and it's brought to a 2v1. 1v1 make it as Hot Sauce finds Senior Carl, but he's so low on HP. 34 left on him, and he's tagged to hell and back here. Spike rotating towards A. Hot Sauce got a load of work to do for him and right ahead of him, but he's got a minute to play with.
I love how Zeal likes to kind of just pepper in some of these, how do you call it, aggressive challenges. SV Empire do it from time to time, but I think Zeal does it the most, the best as well, where they're just going to come in from all cylinders, charge right in, and then find the picks that they do need. A very expensive round nonetheless. Hot Sauce, did he make enough of a change here? And his opponent's going to think that he's gone all the way to B. Oh, he's going to make so much noise. And he's kind of overdid it. Oh, not too good. He thought that Nico was probably going to go B or maybe was on A main. But Nico, he didn't overthink it. He was just stayed at A, knowing that his opponent was going to be low. So even if everything happened, even if Hot Sauce does get a plant on B, he would still be in a advantageous spot because health as well as weapon still in the favor of Nico there.
Really, still at this point, a great round. A great round for SV Empire. Even if they do lose one, it's still their bonus round. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. They still have forced Zeal onto a very much weaker buy. And even if I say weaker buy, that Judge has proved to be the bane of some team's existence. Close range, though. Gets spotted out here and doesn't want to overcommit to this corner peek here as Nico tries to play this one smart. Will get spotted out, destroys the bot here. Nobody really peeking, nobody really hard committing onto it, as a little bit of utility is expended towards that A site.
Now Trix playing along this smoke, about to peek out, and timely pick onto Fire Saiyajin, not even taking any damage whatsoever. The risk pays its reward, and they just back away, knowing that they don't really have to force the issue outside of B. Oh, Tuge could actually be in a bad spot as he is getting peeked out ever so slowly. Hot Sauce and the rest going to be destroying the walls as they push right in. There is going to be a gravity well, and Hot Sauce, he just peeks immediately there onto mid, onto ropes, and hoping that he can find a target. 8 bullets left onto Envy. Checks the back to side. The smoke's about to dissipate, but there is a lot of trades going to the favor of SV Empire. A quick little swing for Tuge, not really going to procure anything in the end, and they've spotted where Nico is. They're whiffing a lot of shots, but in the end, that is going to be SV Empire to get themselves another round.
That should reset the economy here of Zeal, and as you can see right now, they're forced onto what is definitely a weak buy. They were already left with scraps in the previous one. I like the idea for Tuge to actually go into B main and get off that pick, but I feel like he should have buried himself deeper into B main and been a little bit more of a nuisance rather than swinging it out wide. He did make himself a little bit more of a difficult target to hit with those stars and the smokes, but at the same time, I do think that the heaven push came a little bit too early. Now, all they're left with is this shotgun, but at the same time, the shotgun does damage. It finds one here, and it's enough to make things a little bit expensive for now, at least, as quick free fires coming into the corner. Senior Carl pulls out the blades, only good for one on the Sheriff. Now, A site has been secured, and it's still a 3v3, already an expensive round. Will they expect Fire Saiyajin coming up from the flank, though? He's already found this way this far in. Oh, it's Fire Saiyajin. He's able to creep up behind and able to dismiss behind enemy lines here. They brought it to a 2v3 here. Man advantage, but a weapon disadvantage here. The spike has not been dropped, has been dropped. And the shorty is enough for Flash for the meantime. And he finds another headshot, and it's a thrifty win. I'm telling you, Zeal on these ecos, they just cannot be denied.
They love to challenge. Catch off SV Empire, they do. And well, they've now brokered themselves into that 10-round overall. Pretty dang good for them, I'd say. Look at the kills for the moment. It's pretty evenly spread with Senior Carl and Flash at the tippy top, I would say. For now, SV Empire, they're back to the drawing board once again. Look at the weapons, look at the money. That's where they're at here. They can buy up into the next round, but they really don't want to play around 11. Fire Saiyajin just... what the hell was that? He finds Envy as he was just dashing in. And again, this is Fire Saiyajin. Call the mailman because there is just letters about to be delivered. My goodness, Fire Saiyajin, where is Trix? Last person standing. Spotted by Singer Carl lurking around B main. But at the end of it, that's a Panda Pro flawless given to you by Zeal Esports.
Fire Saiyajin and Senior Carl. Look at this. Perfect taps right there. And that pretty round dismisses just when he gets the kill, ready for the backup and Flash. Man, he picks up the pieces for his team. And Zeal, what a great run of form. This, oh, look at that. There's some league happening over here. Very cool. I see Aphelios, Heimerdinger, and Hecarim. That's cool. I didn't actually know that it showed League on that PC.
It is a PC bang.
Down. Here.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Known for their League of Legends. Where is Draxi going to be coming from? Looks like he's just going to tucker himself in with the corner of the side trick.
Oh, wow. That is the most hardcore deny I've seen. Oh my God, he swatted away right as he pulls out the rocket. Not pretty at all, and that's going to be a big blow to his ego right there. Senior Carl, a man unleashed, finding a third, gets denied finally, but still the damage has been done, and Nexi just absolutely crumples under the pressure here, buckles under it, and that's match point for Zeal, who are just at this point right now, just looking like a team who cannot be denied, cannot be dealt with. Wow.
Unstoppable as can be. They can take the site, but they can't stop Zeal from retaking it. Oh my goodness. 5-round deficit, and SV Empire, they're left scratching their heads. What is going on here? What are we doing wrong? Maybe we are doing everything right, but it's just too much to deal with. Senior Carl and Fire Saiyajin firing at all helms, finding the picks that they need. Senior Carl, 23 frag on this man, and he's not showing any signs of slowing down as well.
Absolutely not. In fact, he looks like he's just about to get started. And he's going for an aggressive pick towards B main right here with that operator. Misses the shot, has to tailwind out, but that's still a lot of information given here. Looking for a repeat, though. Going to play that close corner. It's Fire Saiyajin. He's able to get another one, has been deadly towards mid, and the 1-2 combination of Fire Saiyajin and Flash here in mid. Just so impossible to deal with. Quick check just to make sure that his teammate is being guarded. Nice shot from Senior Carl. Will he expect the player up close? Absolutely not, but Flash will be ready for the refrag. 1v4, and this is looking like it's gonna be game number 2 for Zeal here, unless Hot Sauce pulls off the spiciest miracle that we've seen, but it won't be. Fire Saiyajin will lead the charge and take his team along with Senior Carl. Zeal go and take game number 2 and secure 3rd place here in the VCT. Shades for the cool points for Flash right now, looking like a cool guy.